myself set up here. How is everybody doing today? Happy Friday, where I'm in Ontario. It is a beautiful day, a little bit on the cooler side, but nice and sunny, which means flower season is coming soon, which means I've got to prep my garden, prep my starts, get everything going, because May 2-4 weekend is my projected weekend of transferring everything into my flower bed outside. So this last week I've been really focused on digging out my flower beds. So last year I dug out just a rectangle in the dirt and planted right in there and just did chicken wire with some stakes. This time I got a little fancy. If you guys were part of my last live, I talk about how I went to Home Depot, picked up a raised garden bed, and just filled with some more dirt, so it'll allow our plants to thrive even more. They'll have more dirt for the roots to grow down into, and just trying to level up my outdoor gardening, since I'm doing so much to level up my indoor gardening. So today I have some seeds that germinated that I did last week. I threw them in, I think it was April 29th, if I'm not mistaken. So those seeds went in and they sprouted. Everything is blooming, well, not blooming, but sprouted like crazy. So the goal today is to get it transferred into the bucket system. As promised, whenever I have a task to complete in the grow tent, taking you guys with me, and we'll do it together, and I'll show you guys what goes on behind the scenes, what I grow tent, and how it all happens. So I have my little germination station over there, and we are going to get geared up and to assess these seedlings and just check out, are they mature enough to be transferred? Are they ready? So the last seedlings that I transplanted, I was doing a little bit of testing. So I would germinate a seed, and within 2 days of it sprouting, even if the roots were short and if it felt risky, I would still put it in my system, because if they can survive that little rough spot, they thrive faster the sooner you get them into the aeroponics system. So before we get started, I'm just going to take you guys with me and give you a closer look of what we did last week. So unfortunately, I did lose a couple of flowers that we did, because I was trying to see how quickly can I get them into the buckets as soon as they sprout. And so I do believe that they do need a bit more time. So now I've got a bunch that have been in their sprouting tray for a week rather than 2 days. But this is the product of some zinnia plants. I keep showing you guys this on my live just because I want to show you guys the progress. This is our oldest plant. It is 4 weeks old. We've got our first flower bud. It's going to start to flower. Now these guys are self-pollinating, meaning the male and the female flowers are, or the male and the female part are within the same flower. So just a little bit of wind or other movement can help transfer the pollen. These guys are 2 weeks old, so they are behind, but they are coming together. There were no roots before, and now we've got some nice roots happening. So these are called flowers. They're super beautiful. They're cut and come again flowers. The more you cut them, the more they grow back. And so I have a huge flower garden every year outdoor in my backyard, and it's 4 feet by 10 feet and keeps growing over the years. But yeah, it's a big garden, and I do 3 varieties. I do the zinnias, celosias, which look like feathers, which I've also been transplanting into my aeroponics system just to get them started. Rather than getting them started in soil, I'm starting them in my aeroponics system just to get a head start on the season. If you guys know anything about Ontario, Canada, it is freaking cold, man, and we only get a short few summer months. So I'm really trying to squeeze as much time as I can get with these flowers and these season-specific plants. So I'll show you guys the celosia. I'm also doing dahlias, but dahlias are tubers. that I ordered, so I'm just gonna get those right into the ground. So these are like a feathery type of flower, and they look kind of like amaranth. We have some here that didn't make it, but oh, Nova Scotia, what's up, Nova Scotia? I think the weather might be a little bit more mild by you guys. I'm not super familiar with the climate out by your way. Anyways, so all right, let me show you guys what I got going on now. So I sprouted now that I know that it worked, I sprouted a bunch of them, and this is where we're at. So we are going to remove them from the sponge, see which ones have roots that are long enough to transplant into the foam collars, and go from there. So I'm gonna show you guys the process. We're gonna transplant these together, and I'm just gonna go grab the tray, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I love this sprouting station. It is so convenient. I germinate and take care of seedling little area. Oh, I forgot to actually, the lights are on a timer, but I had to turn the timer off last night because I did an Instagram live and forgot to turn the timers back on, so the lights stayed on all night. My poor tent. All right, so I know a lot of people aren't really into flowers, but the point or the message that I'm trying to get across is more about the plant and the process of which, the process of how I transplant it into my system. So these are seeds that I germinated. I think I wrote the date down somewhere. Oh, maybe I didn't. I think it was April 9th. April 29th, I believe. So these are some flower seeds that I germinated. They sprouted in 2 days, and with my previous ones, like I just mentioned, within 2 days I got them right into them, and the majority of them survived, but we did lose some. So I said to myself, this time I'm actually gonna try to get them in the system sooner, or a little bit later, give the roots time to develop. Sorry, a little distracted because I'm trying to get myself set up here. All right, so I just need to grab a spray bottle. Give me one sec. All right, got a spray bottle. Got some foam collars. These are awesome. I used to love hydroclay. That used to be my go-to, but ever since I discovered the foam collars, it's such a game changer for me. They are awesome. Typically, people use them for cloning. But I love them for any of my plants. I've got most of my plants, with the exception of a few. My tomatoes are still in the hydroclay. Heard that you could get different size hydroclay or different size clay pebbles, so I still haven't explored all the clay pebble options, but honestly I feel like there's no need. The foam collars has totally been where it's at for if you guys grow indoors hydroponically or aeroponically, you should totally check out foam collars. They're so awesome. I love them. All right, so I have a bunch of different varieties in here. I got sorry, I'm just looking because I've got this decapitated bud here. So I got the little root there, but then the head is there, or the leaves, so RIP to that one. But you get used to it, honestly, when you have a grow tent and you grow on this scale, whether it's outdoor or indoor. It doesn't matter if you have a grow tent or not. The point is that you get used to killing plants. I mean, I feel like you're not really, there's a quote that says you're not really stretching yourself as a gardener if you're not killing plants. So that is a very true statement. The only way you learn, I find a lot in life, is through failure. Okay, so I was just talking about the flower seedlings, and I was talking about how after 2 days they germinated, or they sprouted, and I got them in the system, but it was quite risky, and I lost a couple of them because the roots were too short. So now we've got these guys right where we want them. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we've got a little stem at the top, and then we've got a long enough root that the foam collar will fit nicely. I've had it before where the root barely sticks out of the foam collar, and then you have a problem because it's not getting properly watered. So I'm gonna just flip you around here and give you a closer look as to what I'm doing. Just flip you. All right, so this is my sprouting tray. I don't even remember which one we were gonna start off with, but either works. So here we go. This is a zinnia plant. Hey Annie. Oh, I love cosmos. I need to learn how to grow them. Oh, asters are so pretty too. Oh, fingers crossed. I hope it works out for you. Flower season is the best season. Yeah, hydroponics and aeroponics is very cool. I'm new to this world, but it is very exciting. Okay guys, so this is our seedling here. So what I'm gonna do is, so these are polyurethane sponges. Just gonna grab my tweezers. These are polyurethane sponges. I use them rather than using rock wool because flowers are only in the summer, but the majority of what I grow is my own food. So rock wool is controversial for me. You know, it's what they use for insulation. There's a lot of little particles coming off, and I'm looking to grow as clean as possible to the degree where I don't spray anything and I don't need to wash my grocery or wash my harvests. So if I am I just lost my train of thought because I got distracted. But anyways, the point is that I don't want to spray anything. I want to keep it as clean as possible. So rock wool, particles, and things getting on the fruit itself, I don't feel super comfortable with. So I use these polyurethane sponges, which I get a lot of hate about because people are like, gross, you're using plastic. How's that better than rock? But it is the lesser of two evils. So I'm just kind of using my tweezers just to help guide the root out of the sponge. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm like this. I've broken a lot of roots before, guys, so if this does break, it's okay because it's still gonna survive. The stem is long enough that we can still fit it in the foam collar. But it is a little bit challenging. So just gonna probably be quiet here for a sec while I try to do this. Takes quite the concentration level. Oh boy. This is the problem is, oh, I broke it. The sooner you get the plant transplanted is easier because then you don't have to deal with roots that are so intertwined. Luckily, this one is mature enough that the stem is long enough that the roots will still out the bottom. Fortunately, but that's not always the case. But you're gonna see with aeroponics, it's okay if you break the root. It totally grows back within a day. It's quite fascinating. So those of you that are new to hydro or aeroponics, it really, contrary to popular belief, it really just expedites the growth of everything. So normally I would just allow the root to stick out the bottom, but we are gonna just push this a little deeper down so that I can really get the water targeting that root system. And actually, while this is running right now, I'm gonna take you and show you how it works. So I've got the timer is on right now. For those of you that are new to aeroponics, this is how it works. So you've got your root systems that are hanging in just a free space, but that is enclosed. And then you have misting nozzles. You could set your timers and you could choose the misting frequency and the timer. So right now I just increased my water. I've been playing around with it. I have it on for 1:45, off for 2 minutes. So really depends what your environment is, what kind of plants you're growing. Because I've got so many different things sharing a system, I've got cucumber, I've got some flower starts, but they're just temporary, right? They're gonna be going outside. I've got a bunch of tomato plants, I've got some pepper plants, a bunch of different varieties. So I do need to play around with the watering just to properly see what works best and what doesn't. So now that we've got our first in the foam collar, I'm just going to grab the net pot. Normally I wait till the water is off, but whatever. Oh my gosh, I know, aren't they so tall? Look at this. They just started flowering too. I've been pinching off the first few buds, and today the flowers are just opening up like crazy, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have a really good yield. So I'm literally just 5 feet tall, and it's almost up to my height, and I'm not even wearing right now, so they are quite tall. All right, so back to business. We are transferring the foam collar now into the net pot. So this is a 3-inch net pot. And this is our foam collar with our zinnia seedling with the roots sticking out. Now this may not seem like a lot of roots, but it is going to do the trick. I'm gonna be back on a live in a few days and just show you guys the process, the progress, and you guys will be blown away. So then I just stick it right there in the system and off it goes. Just wait for it to take off, which is so cool. Within 2 weeks, they'll be ready to go outside. Now there's one that I might just leave indoors because it'd be cool to have the indoor flower garden, but with these roots, I'm gonna try to pull it out to really show you guys the roots. Look at the length of that root system. And they're so clean looking. I pride myself on trying to have clean roots, and these are just so awesome. But you can see how intertwined the roots are in the net pot that I'm not really sure how I'm gonna get the roots out to get it into the ground. Ideally, I want the plant to be at this growth stage, at this maturity, so that as soon as I get it into the ground, it's ready to flower, and I don't have to worry about short summer months and only getting, you know, a couple months of flowering. I can really squeeze all the juice, get you know, everything out of the season, and get as long of a blooming season as possible. So I might just have to plant the net pot with it in the soil if the roots get too big. What do you guys think? Should I take them out when they're earlier and get them in the soil, or should I just plant the whole net pot? Because that could work too. So I'm all about creative solutions here. All right, so here's another little guy. This is the root there. Hopefully I don't break the root, but there you go. You can see there's more than just one root. And so I use the spray nozzle. It helps kind of loosen the root from the sponge. Kind of lubes everything up, you know. All right, so probably break this one again. I'll flip you guys around so I could show you what I'm doing. All right, this is gonna be a bit of a challenge, so forgive me if I'm quiet for a minute. It's okay if a little bit of the sponge comes off with it. It'll just, it actually doesn't even break down in the system. It's like that. So there we go. There is the baby seedling, and we have a foam collar right here. So I just pop that open. I mean, it's probably easier with tweezers. All right, so there it is. There's our seedling. And over there we got roots. It looks like this root is scorched a little bit at the bottom, but again, in a couple days, I'll go on a live and I'm gonna show you guys just how much these take off. So I'm gonna go grab a net pot, take out the old foam collar and put in the new one with seedling. And there we go. So it's hard to see, but there is a root there. And so now we just put it in the system. Just take you guys with me here. There you go. Aeroponics in a nutshell. So in terms of the varieties growing, all I know is that there are a bunch of bright, fun colors. I've got the, if you know anything about flowers or plants, I've got the Oklahoma salmon, the Queenie lime with blush. I've got a pink variety. I've got varieties from Floret Flower. She's an incredible flower cultivator in Washington, and she cultivates her own varieties. So I have a bunch of seeds from that, which is super, super exciting. Now, this is an example of a seedling where it's do or die. If I didn't get it in the system today, it's probably not going to make it unless it starts rapidly growing some new roots, because this little root, it looks completely scorched and dried up, but watch, if we get it in the system. Aeroponics also kind of like doubles as cloning. I'll show you what I mean. So I know I'm off topic, but I broke a tomato plant, and if you guys joined my live last week, you would have been witness to this. Got decapitated right here, and already, this is just a week, it's grown this entire, it's called a sucker here, it's a side shoot, but we're gonna let that become our main tomato stock and just let that back. But anyways, what I was saying about cloning was that I took the piece that broke off, and because it was already flowering and I was like, I didn't want to let go, and I decided to stick it in my grow tower. This is one of my grow towers. Those are my other ones back there. That one's like full of lettuce. Anyways, I wanted to see if I could clone, and check this out. So it was just a cutting. I just cut it at 45, and in 1 week, look at those roots. I'm just gonna bring it over here, pop it out of the foam collar so I could give you guys a better look. Hang on. Hey, gardening for trichomes. No, but it is in the future. I would love to learn. But look at that, you guys. 1 week in the grow tower, and it doubles as a cloner. So it's like an 80 plant port cloner, which is super, super cool. So in, I think it's 6 days, because I did this, I think last Saturday or Sunday. I don't know, you can tell me if you were watching the live. I think it was Saturday or Sunday, but anyways, thank you so much, Gardening for Trichomes. I appreciate you. But yeah, I just, I'm so excited about all the stuff I'm learning, and I want to share. So there you go. There's some roots. That's how cloning works. If you guys take a cutting of one of your plants, for the most part, it could be anywhere depending on the plant. Sometimes it's got to be below a growth node, but cut it at a 45-degree angle, put it in a cup of water, and just switch out every couple days for some clean water, and you'll see you'll start to get roots as well. It doesn't take one of these systems to get roots. It is very quick, and it happens very easily. So again, in 6 days, look at that. That is so cool and exciting. Science rules. I love growing vegetables and my cannabis. Oh, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Yes, growing vegetables, growing your own food is the best. On that note, I know I always show you guys, but if for those of you that are new, check out my salad tower. I've been harvesting every day. I'm going to be eating some today. But this is just regular leaf lettuce, you guys. I got some romaine here. And I got a bunch of herbs starting to grow. And then got my romaine at different growth stages in this grow tower. trying to get into succession planting and always have something going so that I can eliminate stuff off my grocery bill, you know? Because stuff is so expensive these days, you guys. May as well invest in a garden, you know, even if it's outside. Last year I did my flower garden in just, like, I just dug a rectangle of dirt and that's it. Nothing fancy, just some chicken wire and that's it. Where did I get those towers? Well, they're actually, I've been working with a manufacturer to have them made. So I do sell them on my website, but they're actually, I call them the legacy towers. They are an old design. I'm actually working on a new design that's very fun and exciting. I cannot wait to show you guys, but we're still working on it. So I can't tell you guys just what it's gonna look like, but it is going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. But you guys can check out my website, www.thefreshprincess.ca. You can get yourself a grow tower. They're awesome. They come with everything. The pump, the lights, they come on wheels, 80 plant ports, comes with all the net pots. There's nothing to it really, and I throw in a free seed starting kit. So you have everything you need in order to start growing, and the towers are rated for outside. You can even put them in your kitchen. If you're growing lettuce and herbs, those of you that garden or know anything about hydro or aeroponics, lettuce and herbs are so easy that you can just put it in any environment, even in your kitchen, and you can really get that tower to table experience, if you know what I'm saying. Which is what everybody's after these days. The whole tower to table, like even restaurants are getting on that concept because, you know, organic food used to just be normal, regular food. What's up, Finding Keepers? Where am I from? I am just outside of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. Not the greatest place to be right now, but whatever. Everything is just really expensive and overpriced, and so the goal behind this is kind of, well, I'm sure everything's expensive everywhere, but the goal behind this is to eliminate stuff off my grocery bill. And I just, you know, trying to take back control of my food sovereignty. You know, it sounds dramatic, but it is true. We don't have much control of what we consume. Even if you're consuming whole foods from the grocery store, first of all, it's organic, costs a fortune. Second of all, if it's not organic and just conventional, you don't know how it's grown, what it's sprayed with, what's going into it. You know, years and years and years of consuming certain pesticides or, you know, other things, it can really affect your body long term. And so I want to live a long life, and, you know, I want to nourish my body properly. And so I really want to master this. I'm very new. You know, I don't even know the nutrient contents of the food that I'm growing, but I hope to, you know, perfect my aeroponic tech. And once I do that, then really just hone in on the nutrient density of the food that I'm growing. Do I ship to the UK? No, for the time being, I only ship within Canada, but soon we will be expanding, so stay tuned for that. But yes, guys, the towers make gardening super easy. You don't need to have a green thumb, but you do need to have a little bit of time. Like if you have 15 minutes a day just to check on things, and you know, you won't even have to carve it out of your day. I've noticed ever since I have a garden and I'm growing my own food, I love to just come in here and, you know, practice mindfulness and, you know, see what's growing and are there any leaves and are things flowering. So there's always something to look at that even just having a garden on a smaller scale, like having a tower at home, is super fun. If any of you guys out there garden or grow anything, outdoor or indoor, you know what I mean. There's nothing more therapeutic than a good garden. All right, so there's another one. We did not break the root. It's all good to go. It's in the net pot, and I'm going to get it into the system. I'll take you guys with me. Use your brain. Oh God, I should use mine more. New sub. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. This is why I love doing lives, because I love sharing my enthusiasm with people that share the same interests or want to learn more about it. So this one that we transferred the other day, I really tried to push it to the limit. It had sprouted within 2 days and right away I got it into the system. Whereas these guys have sprouted a week ago, and I'm just giving them more time for the root to get more mature. So it's a fine line. You transfer them in the net pots too early, the root isn't long enough, and you let them grow a little too much, and then it's hard to keep them intact when you're transplanting them. So it's about finding that sweet spot. So I'm trying to pretty much come up with like a manual or like exact instructions based on different varieties, so that I can inform you guys so that you don't have to do the trial and error. I do it for you. Finding keepers. Transplanting what? I am transplanting zinnia flowers. They are for an outdoor garden. If you guys don't know what variety are, I don't think I have a picture on me, but they are called zinnias. They are cut and come again flowers. The more you cut them, the more they grow back. And you know, I have friends, family, neighbors that love flowers, and I love sharing. So I grow it, and then I make flower arrangements, and I share with the people I care about. So rather than starting them in a cell tray in soil, I actually decided, since I am so blessed to have this aeroponic system, I decided to transplant and do my flower starts in the system this year. So I germinated a bunch in polyurethane sponges 5 days ago or 6 days ago, almost a week ago, and they finally sprouted. So we are, well, they sprouted, sorry, 5 days ago. We're gonna get them in. I was just telling people that were watching that in the past I was trying to germinate them, and then within like a day of them or 2 days of them sprouting, I tried to get them in the system right away, just to, like, expedite the growth process, because I'm so impatient. But a lot of them didn't make it, so now I know, give them a few days in the sponge, let the root grow to a nice length, and then it fits in the foam collar. So back to this, I was showing you guys, this is one where the root was just too short, and it didn't make it, and that's okay. Since it was so young and it just kind of dried up, I'm not gonna worry about sterilizing the net pot. You know, if it was a more mature plant and had some kind of like disease or issue, then I would definitely sterilize, but RIP to that little guy, and it's okay. We got plenty where that came from. So I'm gonna flip you guys around and show you the next one that I'm gonna do. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. If you just got here, thank you so much. Well, or if you've been here, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys keep me company while I do all my tent work, and I actually really appreciate it, and I really enjoy sharing this with you guys. So I hope it's entertaining. If there's more of something specific you guys want to see, just holler. Sorry, I'm being a little more quiet now. Don't want to break any roots. Sometimes when I get distracted, too confident, and then I'm not paying attention, and that's when I really screw up. So there you go. There's our little seedling, and there's a little seed. Toss that out after, and we are going to get it into the foam collar. Sometimes I use tweezers, sometimes I don't. I get nervous with tweezers because they can be sharp, and I don't want to, well, I could just get dull ones, but anyway, yeah, you want to make sure the root's hanging out. It is ever so slightly, but I think it's enough. I don't know if you can see that little tip there. That is the root. Have I tried clay pebbles? Why, yes, I have. I have actually. Foam collars are new for me. I usually put everything in clay pebbles, but if I show you inside my system, I have some debris, and I think it might be causing a little bit of root rot. I'm not sure. Anyways, so then I recently tried out the foam collars, and now I can't go. Transferred all my pepper plants to the foam collars, and like the roots are just looking so good. But yeah, I believe, you know, everything has its place and its benefit. Clay pebbles are awesome. I love them, but right now my current obsession are the foam collars. The only thing with foam collars is, for example, like my lettuce. Some of them, you know, they're so big that I feel like the foam collar might be stressing the stalk out, because it is, you know, a small cavity for the stalk to grow through. But plants are so freaking adaptable that maybe it doesn't even bother them. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so we've got our seedling in the foam collar, and we've got our little root hanging out ever so slightly. Oh my gosh, use your brain. Yes, somebody actually used their brain, and they commented that on my last live that I should use pool noodles. And so genius. I am gonna absolutely do that. I don't know if it's the same material. I know these are neoprene. I don't know if pool noodles are like sick or not. I'm trying to be as clean as possible. I know it might sound dramatic or overkill, and I know I'm growing in plastic buckets and stuff, but I just try to do the best I can. All right, so 3 for 3. Next one. I don't even know if I have counted before I went live, and I counted 19 available vessels to transplant my flowers, but I think I might have more than 9. So I think I might actually have to put some in the grow tower, because I have space in both of my grow towers. Annie, can the veggies / flowers stay in the water from seed to harvest, or do you have to plant them out? So they can stay where they're at right now once they're seedlings. I haven't tried putting them in the system as a seed. I should put the seed, because I germinate in these, right? So if you see here, got a bunch of seeds germinating, right? So I should put those in one of the net pots, maybe surrounded by some clay pebbles, and then just put it in the system and see if the seed sprouts. Oh, from seedling. Yes, from seedling, you just throw it in here, and that's where it stays. That becomes its home. You need to do anything else. I have other plans for these buckets, so these are just how I'm starting my flowers. I could keep them in here if I wanted, but I'm good moving them. But yes, I absolutely should try germinating seeds in my system. That would be so cool. Then I don't even need to use a germination station. I could just one-stop shop, pop the seed in, and that's it. Pool noodles are made by polyurethane or EVA. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. See, there's a reason why your handle is use your brain. Because you use your brain, and sometimes I don't. I just get too excited and I roll with whatever works in the moment. But that is a fantastic suggestion, and I am going to get myself a pool noodle. I'm going to go on a live, and I'm going to set it up on the live with you guys there, because I'm sure everywhere has pool noodles now, because pool season is upon us. Okay, so this one I feel like is going to be a pink flower, because unlike others, you can see the stalk is actually pink. I did I label? Let's see. I did not. With the flowers, I'm like, whatever blooms or grows. I actually like that it's a surprise, because you get your first bud and you don't know what it's gonna open up to be. So yeah, I just use the spray bottle to help me loosen the roots. I don't know where these roots are. All right, we got it without baking it. Whoop, whoop. always an accomplishment when you don't break the roots. Okay, so putting it in the foam collar, got the foam collar open, placing the seedling, ensuring the roots hang outside of the foam collar as much as possible. If they don't stick out all the way, that is okay, because the water does trickle enough to hit this little spot right there. That's the root sticking out right there. So there we go. Put it in the net pot and bring it over to the system. So these are the ones I did today. I've got a bunch more, so they're gonna go in these empty buckets here. And then I might have to power up system number 2 back there, or you know, I could just put them in the tower and try that. I actually have one in the tower just to see how it was gonna do. So it's been a week since it's been in the tower and it's doing great. The roots are kind of stuck on the top of the foam collar, so it's a little hard to see. But yeah, it's doing great in the tower as well. And then these are my other flower starts. I think I already showed you guys. These are the celosia. They're kind of like an amaranthus, like a feathery looking filler plant. So, you know, it would actually be cool, you know, if I end up growing aeroponic flowers on a large scale. You know, a lot of flower shops, they only get certain flowers based on the season, even if it's greenhouse grown. So it'd be cool to have spring or summer variety offering and you know, sell my flowers to flower shops or something. I don't know. I always have all these ideas, you know, sell my food at farmers markets, sell my flowers at flower shops or farmers markets. But that would be really cool if I could do that. So some of these sponges, I just threw in a bunch of seeds. So looks like we've got 2 seedlings here. So I'm just gonna work on getting those out. Finding keepers. I use pool noodles for my bucket cloner. Problems is finding the ones without the big hole. Oh, true. That is a good point. I mean, I can always make the hole bigger and then stick in my 2-inch foam collars inside the larger foam collar. Yeah, no, that's a bad suggestion. I like to complicate things, so just ignore me. All right, so we've got 2 seedlings, we've got some roots, and I'm gonna just gently try. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna focus on a sec. So again, if you just got here, I use this spray bottle to kind of try to lubricate the sponge to make the root removal easier. Oh yes! Oh my gosh, so satisfying when you get it out without breaking the roots. Look at that. Yes! The roots are intact, which is what I love. So I'm just gonna stick it in the foam collar here. Sorry, I'm trying to do it in front of the camera and I'm way off. All right, there it is. Some nice roots hanging off the bottom. And there you go. Cool. I love that. I love when things go seamlessly. Probably you guys are sending me some good vibes and you're making it easy for me. All right, next net pot right here. Just take out the old foam collar, put in the new foam collar, and voila, you've got root at the bottom. You've got a nice little seedling on the top. Sometimes I get tempted to just pick off the little hull. Oh, this time it worked out, but I've had it in the past where I actually pick it off and then I break, I don't know how to pronounce it, cotyledons or whatever. I break them off, which is the 2 first leaves, and then the seedling dies. I generally use them in stacking bucket systems. I cut into 1-inch pieces and then cut 2 slices into the side, then squeeze gently around the root and insert into my bucket hole. Oh, cool. Clever. You can also use that small piece as a filler with the root. It's a great idea. Yeah, actually, that's enough room for the root to grow. All right. Next, we've still got one seedling sponge, and I get a little quiet when I do this because last week I did this on a live and I wouldn't stop doing it, and I ended up breaking all the roots. So everyone really got to witness on live YouTube or on YouTube Live just how clumsy and uncoordinated I am. That is one thing you will learn about me. Okay, what? I did it. A little bit of sponge came along with it. There it is. And yeah, so I just try to, you know, get in like a couple hours a day whenever I have the time. And I just complete some tasks in the tent. This grow, I feel like it's going to be the most successful grow that I've had because I am working really hard in this garden. You know, people make it look easy, and it can be easy if you have experience, but just because it's easy doesn't mean it doesn't take effort, right? And commitment and consistency and all kinds of things that you learn from having a garden. All right, so took out the empty net pot. We've got our little root here. Put it in there and we're good to go. Have a wonderful Friday, use your brain. You're awesome. Thank you so much for watching. All right, so there we go. There is our 6th seedling so far. I've only got 8, 9, 10. I've only got 10 empty vessels in my buckets, and I think I got more than 10 seedlings, so just this one alone has 2. Look how cute that is. But when they share a sponge, they do grow at a slower rate. One usually takes off and one usually gets stunted because they're sharing a root space. So, oh. Usually they grow on the same side together and get all intertwined, but these 2 are growing on sides of the sponge. So these sponges are actually, normally they're this thick, but I slice them in half just to make it easier for the root to grow out and get more oxygen. If they're too thick, then the root really goes into the sponge, and then when you transplant it, you have to transplant the sponge with it, and sometimes it causes problems. It doesn't allow the roots to grow properly. It's effective for seedlings, but as far as it goes. Okay, so again, I get a little bit quiet when I do this. I'll flip you guys around and I'll show you guys the one, because if I get it without breaking the root, it is quite satisfying to watch. Flip you guys around. All right, so if I get quiet, pardon me, just a little bit of concentration is needed. Watch me break it anyways. Oh my gosh, you guys got to witness that. I mean, it's probably not as exciting to you, but for me to successfully remove this without breaking the root, that takes dexterity. It's like doing surgery is what I always say. Not to be dramatic. All right, trying to get my foam collar here. Get this in the foam. Sorry, guys. Seedling has gone rogue. All right, there it is. Got a nice little root hanging out there. Woo, woo. And okay, there it is. So yes, the leaves are a little bit mangled, but you're gonna see it's gonna bounce the F back. All right, so I'm just gonna take it to my system here. Just grab a net pot. Switch out the empty foam collar for the filled one. Grab a new one. Actually, I like to leave it in there. If I don't keep the net pots in the system, when the water goes off, the surface gets all wet, and then if I don't dry it, you get algae growth, which we don't like algae growth because it inhibits, or sorry, it inhibits the root growth and your plant's ability to thrive. Okay, so now we're doing the second seedling. Just put these right here. All right, hopefully I get this without breaking the root. Again, whenever I'm doing a chore in the grow tent, I've said that I'll just go live so you guys can kind of check out what happens behind the scenes and really get full scope of the process. I feel like I'm gonna break this root, you guys, and I'm nervous. Sometimes if it's on the verge of breaking, then I have to actually like cut through the sponge. So I kind of like break up the sponge with the tweezers so that I don't compromise. Because I wash these sponges and I reuse them. It's actually fun. It's kind of like a game, you know? Don't break the root. All right. Oh my gosh, this one is tough. Sorry, I get quiet when I do this because I'm so nervous. Every plant counts. Oh my gosh, that root is just really not wanting to come out. I have to break apart more of the sponge. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a closer look to show you what I'm talking about. All right, we've got movement now. It's like such a small root too, like just come out. Oh, I broke it. Oops. Whoopsies. I always break the root, but we still have enough root. It's gonna survive. So as we've done everything else, open up the foam collar. Got our seedling. Place it into the foam collar with the root sticking out the bottom if possible. And oh my goodness, it's a struggle. All right. So the root, because the plant is kind of curved, the root is just like folded in here. Oh my gosh. And if you guys are into gardening. It's not just flowers in my grow tent. I grow my own food. For those of you that just got here, I'm just starting my flowers for the season in my aeroponics system. So now I've got the collar here. I managed to get the root out the bottom without squishing the leaves, and we are going to get it in the foam collar. While you guys are here, thank you all that are tuning in. Please don't forget to hit the like button, and got a lot more content just trying to teach you guys about gardening. So if you like what you see, just subscribe. All right, so I got a few more. Well, I think I got more than a few too. Sorry, I am a little bit of a mess right now. Just it's all the shot, right? And I try to give the viewers variety so that you guys aren't just staring at the same boring thing the whole time. Who wants to watch me talk? All right, so I'm gonna do a couple more before I actually have to get going and pick this back up later. All right, so again, I get a little quiet while I do this. I just need to focus so that I don't break the root if I can help it. Ooh! And there I go, breaking it. All right, we broke the root, but that's okay because these plants are so resilient and there's still a little bit of root left. So it is all good, you guys. I try not to cry over broken roots. I just, you got to keep moving forward. Plus, the beauty about an aeroponic system is things reroot quite quickly. I've had it where the root just completely snapped off. Like there's absolutely no root at all. And the system acts like a cloner. It's pretty sweet. So there we go. The roots aren't sticking out, but the water does travel through that little cavity. So I'm hopeful that it'll be enough. But find out, you guys. I will keep you posted on my next live. We are going to I'm going to do an update and show you guys. So I just grabbed my net pot, put the foam collar in there, and then that's it. I put it in my system and got a watering schedule. I've got a lighting schedule. It's all about simulating the outdoor environment for optimal growth. So I've got another one here. It's got two little seedlings in one sponge. I hate these ones because they're trickier to get. And oh, there's my tweezers. All right, so and as for my weekend, I go live at the same time on Saturday as well as Sunday. So every project I have to do I save it for my lives. So I'm always doing something in here, and I'm always going to take you guys with me. So if you guys like hanging out, just come hang out at noon. I go live at noon on Saturdays and Sundays while I do my chores in the grow tent. So you all can come hang with me, get behind the scenes, and just learn more. You know, you don't have to be interested in gardening to find this stuff fascinating. Plants eat life, and there's nothing better than watching things grow. New growth, new beginnings. It really just, a garden keeps you in the most positive mindset. So there we go. We got dual seedlings. We banged that out in one shot. No broken roots, no issues. So I'm just gonna place them here, get my foam collar. Obviously I'm gonna put them in their own foam collar. So I've got another one here. And then we're gonna get them in the system and get this growing. And then again, May 2 weekend is probably the weekend, so the weekend after May 24th, and maybe it's before, I don't know. But yeah, the long weekend in May, and I'm gonna get these in the ground, and I think I'll have expedited the growth process by starting them aeroponically. All right, so this one was a great success. We've got the little seedling there. We've got the root hanging out right there. I don't know if you guys can see. Put it hot. And then the next one. So sometimes I just throw on some classical music, because that is what my plant to listen to. And I just zone out. And it's meditative to hang in the garden, transplant seeds, and the best is like when it's dead of winter and it's like a freaking snowstorm outside. To have this nice garden, it's like 25 degrees in here, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and 40% humidity. It's beautiful. How are you going to transfer them from the system to outside? Well, hopefully I can just, because it's easy to remove the foam collar from the net pot, so hopefully the roots don't get too large, that I can just pull them easily out of the net pot, and then foam collar it just opens right up. Pull the plant out. I will have to put it in some kind of cell tray with soil, because I have to harden them off. They've been inside in this environment, that they will have to acclimate to the outdoors, and a big mistake people make is moving things outdoor from indoors without acclimating it. So that is something that is important, and it is called hardening them off. So that is something to consider. Again, this is really for experimental purposes. Like, yeah, I am kind of complicating it to a certain degree, in the sense that like I could just plant them in the soil and then bring that soil cell tray outside when it's time to harden them off. But why? When I can grow them aeroponically and check out the roots and have fun with that. So it's more to learn. So I'm kind of complicating things a little bit in hopes of finding a better way of growth. All right, so this is a different kind of sponge that we're using. This is a square polyurethane sponge, same material, different shape, but I think it'll make the root removal easier. So I'm gonna cut out and see. I'm gonna flip you guys around so you can check out a closer look of what I'm doing. All right, so there's seedling. Gonna try to get it out of the sponge without breaking the roots. I get quiet for a sec while I do this so I don't lose focus. Taking a little bit of sponge with it. Oops. This one's got some nice roots. I find that the square sponges are superior to the round ones. They're more like they're the same material. I don't know, just the shape. And again, for those of you that just got here, I use the water nozzle to just lubricate the sponge, make the root removal easier. Wow, this one's got some nice little roots on it. All right. So we're gonna get it into the foam collar. you go. Got my seedling up top, roots down below. And we're gonna get it in the net pot. This is the last available net pot in this bucket. Now we're moving on to our last bucket. Wow, that was fast. All right, a couple more to go. More than a couple, but so we're gonna go through all of these. Yeah, this is such a relaxing, meditative activity. You can just totally zone out and transplant. Sounds super fun. Honestly, it is. It's one of my favorite hobbies, is when seedlings reach a certain point to transplant them. It's so much fun. There's the seedling. Put it in, whoop, get it in the foam collar. Use the tweezers to help me. So there it is. Here's the roots. Roots hanging out the bottom. And into the net pot it goes. There we go. Now, for those of you that just got here, I'm transplanting my flower starts that actually usually go outside into my indoor aeroponic system. But I also grow my own food, not just flowers. This is just a seasonal thing. May become a regular thing if I am successful at growing some of these indoors, because I will be keeping some of them indoors. So there's the little seedling. Just try to get it out of the sponge without compromising the root. Oh, and I kind of broke the root, but that's okay. Woo! And I dropped the seedling. Wow, great job. All right. There it is. It's got enough of a root right there to see, but it's there. It's got enough of a root that we can put it in the foam collar, and I think it'll survive. Again, for those of you that just got, I got a lot of stuff to do in the tent this weekend, and I go live Saturdays and Sundays at noon for like, I don't know, an hour or two. If you guys want to hang out, come tune in while I work in the tent. So there we go. There it is. Root. Get that into the net pot. And one more down. What food do you grow all year long inside? Well, I grow, so I've tried to plant, didn't successfully do it because you have to hand pollinate, and so I'm trying to master that. So we've got cucumbers here that actually just started to flower, which is pretty exciting. I've got cherry tomatoes. I've got 6 plants right now. These are all cherry tomatoes. I usually just stick to one variety per grow. And I've got a bunch of different pepper varieties. So these 2, 4, 6, those are all bell pepper plants. These are poblano and Chinese 5-color pepper plants. One of these is a cayenne and one of these is a dough hill. I don't know which is which. And then one of these is a habanero and one of these is something else. But I kind of forget because sometimes I don't do the best job at labeling. And then I've got my lettuce tower, which I grow. I've grown chicory, I've grown mustard, I've grown all kinds of lettuces. Blush butter oak, romaine, just regular leaf lettuce, which is what this is. Got some romaine here. I grow herbs. Got some green onion. I've got some dill growing. I've got some dinosaur kale happening, some parsley, and in my orange tower, I've got, for those of you that just got here, I was showing earlier, I broke a tomato and I wanted to see if I could clone it in the tower, and I was able to root it within 6 days. So now we're gonna plant that back into the buckets. In fact, I still haven't cleaned up the broken one. It's right here. It was like fully developed and it just snapped. So that's awesome that it grew back. And then I've got a bunch of others in the tower, a bunch of other cuttings, just to see if they'll root, some of which are already flowering. So I'm curious if they'll produce tomatoes. Oh my gosh, look. First time I've noticed this on this plant, but you can see there are some roots, which is super cool. I'm trying out, so I've got strawberries. The plan for the yellow tower is just to fill it with strawberries. I've got 2 different varieties. This is a watermelon, a sugar baby watermelon. I'm gonna try that out. I have yet to grow one, but hopefully it'll work out. I've got some sage, some basil. I've got a bunch of other stuff growing. In terms of what's germinating, oh man, I've got so many different lettuce varieties and so many different herb varieties that things are about to get crazy in here. I mean, they're already crazy, but things are about to get a whole lot more crazy. Unfortunately, I do have to get going in the next 5 minutes, so I'll just do a couple more. But if you guys are interested, I've got more stuff that I'll be doing in the grow tent tomorrow. Come hang out with me. I'm going live at noon on Saturday. I just, all my grow tent chores, I just go live and I hang out with guys and I just do them while on a live. Last night I was supposed to go on Instagram Live. I actually did a YouTube Live with a friend of, or sorry, I was supposed to on YouTube Live, but I ended up doing an Instagram Live with a friend of mine. He is also a grower, indoor and outdoor. And next Thursday we're going to be going live on YouTube together. So you guys can also tune in for that. But yeah, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time, I will be live. All right, so transferred yet another one. Got the roots hanging out the bottom. Got the seedling up top. I'll just place that there for a moment. Actually, I'll get it in the system. So just get my net pot, place it in the net pot, and there you go, yet another start. So I just got to quickly bang these out because I've got to get going. But for those of you that tuned in today, I appreciate you guys. Just having people interested and wanting to hear what I've got to say and sharing in my enthusiasm is great. I love meeting fellow people from the community. Ooh, wild Minnesota strawberries. Are you growing them hydroponically or just traditional garden, soil? Let me know how those work out because I might have to try them. All right, so here, this one has a nice little set of roots. Love it when that happens. I love it when things just work out. So we're just gonna get that in the foam collar. And oh man, these guys are gonna take off so quickly. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look up that variety, Minnesota strawberries. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so then I'll just get this in the system over here. There, I don't know if you guys can see that. Woo! Oh my gosh, here I go, breaking another tomato plant. Anyways, all right, so, okay, let's do, oh no, that's it. Oh no, let's do 2 more because I've got 2 more free spaces and then I'm gonna go. 2 more, 2 more. 2 more, and then I gotta sign off and love and leave you guys. All right. So this one here from my backyard compost tea and reused soil. Oh, awesome. Sometimes the outdoor is the best, because especially when it comes to hand pollinating, it's nice to not have to worry about doing that. I've gained a whole new appreciation for pollinators, bees, butterflies, etc. Because hand pollinating is a task, you guys. I use an electric toothbrush. Yesterday, I was hand pollinating my first cucumber flower, and it freaking just broke right off. Like online it says to use an electric toothbrush, and the flower just freaking snapped right off. So that did not work out well. So there you go, foam collar. All right. Oh, you have bees, beautiful. Do you have a beehive? Like, do you keep bees, or you mean you just bees because it's in your backyard? If you actually are a beekeeper, that is so cool. I have such an appreciation and fascination for bees. Oh my gosh, they play such an important role, that in my flower garden in the summer, I don't spray anything on my plant ever, because I never want to harm a pollinator. They are everything to us. Woo! In fact, I actually just bought some of that bee propolis stuff the other day. It's supposed to be like incredible anti-inflammatory, antibacterial properties. Yeah, to be just amazing. So there we go, little seedling. And oh, you got a hive. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I would love to have a hive. That'd be cool. I saw this video on Instagram where this guy built a hive, but it's like a glass hive, and it goes into his home. And so in the walls of his home, you can see inside the hive, you could see all the bees at work. It's the most beautiful, fascinating thing. Even wasps, I know they're harmful because they sting you, but they're pretty cool. I mean, they're not the same as honeybees at all, but they're pretty cool too. I found a wasp hive recently, and you know, you cut it open, and it's just incredible the work that they do. Okay, so all right, right before I go, I'll do one more and put it in the tower to show you guys, because really quick, I'll flip you around. All the empty vessels have been filled, even those two in the buckets with more mature. So this is the plant that I am transplanting. This is it at 4 weeks old. These babies are going to be getting the same amount of fertilizer, but oh well, I'm sure they'll be fine. They're super easy. But this one has just started flowering, so it's going to be my first aeroponic flower. I cannot wait. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. All right, we're going to put one in the tower, and then I really got to go. I know I keep saying that, but we're going to do this. So I've got this little seedling right here. The roots are looking a little rough, but it'll bounce back. Okay. Get that here. Just taking the little hull off. So I've got this little seedling. The foam collars for the tower are 1 inch and 2 inches in circumference, and they fit in the tower net pots. So just get that in there. All right, close that up, and then I have my seedling with a little, it's hard to see, but the root is right there at the bottom. And I'll take you guys with me to get it in the tower. I'll have to take out an old foam collar and just get this one in right here. And that's it. The same thing in the tower. So I'm gonna go ahead and just power through these last few ones. But honestly, thank you to everyone that watched. Thanks for hanging out with me while I had to complete that task. It was really cool just chatting with you guys and getting to know everybody. I totally want to do that. Yes, that would be so cool. You should do a visible bee house. Oh, nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone that tuned in. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. It's about to get better because I'm about to have the best freaking harvest and the best garden. I cannot wait to show it with you guys, or to show it to you guys. Again, this whole tent is just one big experiment. And like I always say, if there's something you want to see me grow in one of my systems, just drop it in the comments. I will procure the seeds and we are going to have fun with this. So thank you everyone for watching. Have a fantastic Friday. Have an awesome rest of your day, no matter what time zone you're in. And tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, catch me live on YouTube again. And everything's gonna have grown a lot overnight. So you're gonna wanna watch, you're not gonna wanna miss it. Have a great rest of your day. And don't forget to smash the like button before I end this video. You got like 5 more seconds. All right, guys, thanks again.